The rebellion cannot be allowed to persist.
We weren't expecting special forces.
That's the point, Sergeant.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates, and now we finally have the full reveal of Star Wars Battlefront 2, and holy crap was it amazing. Being there in person and actually hearing the crowd's reaction when they showed Darth Maul, Yoda and all that kind of stuff was so cool, especially when they showed stuff like battle droids as well. I know that it was probably tuned down a little bit because of the fact that a small teaser leaked out a couple of days ago, of course, but it was really amazing, and there is so much information to go over now that I wasn't really sure where to start, because we have the official website, we have pre-order pages, we have the trailer, we have the panel, we have the behind the scenes stuff that I saw, among a lot of other things. So I'm probably gonna make tons of videos the coming days, and I will obviously not be able to cover every single piece in one video, but in this video I wanted to kind of go over the general information we have about the single player, about the multiplayer, about the release and all that kind of stuff. And then I will do a video where I go actually through every frame of the trailer and linking that to the information we have, and just keep on going with interviews and all that kind of stuff. So again, if something isn't covered in this video, feel free to leave a comment, because I might have missed it, but most likely I simply save it for the next video. So let's get started. The single player, which I think sounds really cool, is actually called Inferno Squad, or actually the book is called Battlefront 2 Inferno Squad, which is a book that is coming out in July. And the Inferno Squad is an elite Imperial Special Force unit which is led by Iden Versio, and Iden Versio is the person that we will be playing as in the campaign, and the campaign will be spanning right after Return of the Jedi to about 30 years later into The Force Awakens. So it's a quite long time gap that they will be covering with the campaign, and the book will be, I think she said, 4 years before Return of the Jedi. So you will basically see how the Inferno Squad was formed, how they got to know each other, and so on. And then a couple of months later, when the game is released, you can actually play that yourself and think back what you read in the book. So I'm actually gonna start reading some Star Wars books now, which I so far haven't done. They also mentioned that the campaign will actually offer chances to play as major heroes from the sagas, which means Luke Skywalker, Kylo Ren and so on. They didn't really go into detail on how that exactly works. I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit like in the movies, where you jump in between the two sides, but Iden will be the main person and you will be playing from the Imperial side, which is something quite new, and I think it's really cool to see the Imperial heroes and not just the Rebel heroes like we usually do. And one important thing to note is that a new planet is actually coming to the Star Wars universe through this campaign and book called Vardos, and this is Iden's homeworld, and Vardos is a planet that willingly joined the Empire, and it was brought in by Iden's father, Admiral Versio. So she really has an Imperial background, and this planet is the one we saw in the leaked teaser as well, with the red trees that people speculated that it was Mandalore, but it turns out it's a brand new planet, which is even cooler in my opinion. It seems like it's going to be quite urban gameplay, which is something the current game didn't have too much. Before we go over to the multiplayer stuff, I can quickly bring up the release information that we currently have, which is the fact that it will be coming out November 17 worldwide. But if you pre-order the Elite Trooper Deluxe Edition, you can get it on November 14th, or you can get it on November 9th if you have EA access or Origin access, which is usually how it is with EA's games. So I will definitely be playing on November 9th through Origin access. I'll get back to the different pre-order versions and those bonuses later in the video, but now let's switch over to the multiplayer. We do know that the multiplayer will have full-out space battles, which wasn't really a surprise, and the multiplayer will span across all 3 eras. They didn't show clones in the trailer, we only saw Yoda and Darth Maul, but in the actual panel, they actually showed a battle droid. So yes, we are getting full-out Clone Wars. I know some people were like, why didn't they show more Clone Wars? Well, I think we get the point. Clone Wars will be in the game, it's gonna be freaking epic. And I think that was the most important thing. They want to focus obviously on the campaign and the story, but we now do know that it will be full out Clone Wars. And another thing that's coming back is classes. Well, coming back, I'm talking about the original games. And based on some pre-order information from pages, it seems like it's gonna be 4 soldier classes: the Officer, Assault, Heavy and Specialist. We don't really know what these do, but we can obviously guess roughly what they will do based on their names. And they also said that there will be ship classes, so I'm assuming maybe we will have bombers, interceptors, and stuff like that. Another really cool thing to hear. And something that I found to be very good here is the fact that everything is going to have progression. Classes, heroes, starships, You will be able to progress them all, customize them all, which will make the game last for a lot longer, hopefully, because you will have so much stuff to unlock to all the individual heroes. As for the confirmed heroes, I think it's only Luke, Rey, Kylo, Maul, and Yoda that we do know about. At least those were the only ones we could see in the trailer and so on. But I could have missed some because there were so many news outlets reporting on different things, whether it's the pre-order page, the trailer, and so on. So I will get back to you if I hear about any other heroes. Now, if we go to the actual pre-order page, we can find some interesting things. It seems like there's a standard version and a deluxe version for $80. And if you pre-order in general, you will get exclusive Star Wars The Last Jedi themed looks for Kylo Ren and Rey. You will get ability modifiers that upgrades the Millennium Falcon, epic ability modifiers for Rey and Kylo Ren, and more. And if you look on the Microsoft page, you can actually see that 2 epic ability modifiers will be available for Rey with enemy mind control, and then the same for Kylo Ren with 2 abilities that will be able to freeze and pull opponents with the Force. It's a little bit vaguely stated, but at least we know what kind of abilities it will be. And we see the word epic around a lot of this information, so I'm thinking there might be different types of ranks of the stuff, because they keep saying epic, not like describing it as, wow, this is so epic, but it's actually called epic ability modifier, because otherwise they are definitely overusing the word epic, but that might be something we will learn more about later. And if you move on to the actual deluxe edition page, we get a hint of what will actually be in the game. Because if you do get the Elite Trooper Deluxe Edition, you will get something called the Blurg 1120 plus enhanced grip modification. So yes, there will also be modifications and enhancements for the weapons, which is another type of customization people have requested, and that will hopefully give this game a lot more to unlock. And you will also get a Battle Command Epic ability, and like I said, they keep mentioning Epic. And then a FWMB10 Mega Blaster and Barrel Vent modification, a Personal Shield Epic ability, a CR2 plus Trigger modification, a Grenade Epic ability, and then the A280 CFE plus Scope modification, and lastly a Laser Trip Mine Epic ability. So very interesting to read about this. Again, it seems like Epic is some sort of rank of the actual abilities, and this also gives us some idea of the weapons that will be in the game. Again, this is not all weapons, but these are the ones you get through the deluxe edition. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, deluxe editions, pay to win, pre-order bonuses, and all that kind of stuff. But it seems like we might actually not be getting a season pass. It seems like they've learned their lesson here, because talking to Mashable, he pretty much confirmed that there's going to be no season pass, but then they made a new statement where he basically said, I cannot talk about the specifics of this, but we have something different in mind that will allow you to play longer, be more invested in the game without having a fragmented community. So, I am pretty sure we're not getting paid DLC anymore, at least not a season pass, and this is fantastic to hear. I'm guessing that maybe it will be supported by microtransactions, and I think this is honestly the best way to go, because they need to get money somehow if they're actually going to create more content for us. Because post-launch, sure, you can have a couple of free DLCs, but if you don't get in any money, you won't be able to produce a lot of content. You can make maybe one free DLC, but you need to get money somehow. And I hope that they will have microtransactions instead of paid DLC. That's basically what most games do these days, and it works very well. So although they're still doing the pre-order bonuses and stuff like that, which I can agree isn't ideal, the most important thing is post-launch content, and it seems like they have really learned their lesson there, and they won't be doing the same thing as with Battlefront and Battlefield 1. And lastly, I know the order of this video is a little bit weird, but now we're talking about planets confirmed. I think this is all the ones we can see through concept art and the trailer, which is Hoth, Endor, Tatooine, we saw Mos Eisley specifically, Naboo, which we could see when Yoda and Darth Maul fought, Kamino, Starkiller Base, Jakku, Takodana, Yavin 4, and of course Vardos, the new planet introduced in this game. This is already like twice as many planets as we got in the last game, so it's really good to see that they have bumped up the content a lot in this game, which they also said a lot in the panel. I mean, I think they learned their lesson, and this time around people will hopefully not be disappointed at the release that there's too little content of some type. But that is gonna wrap up this first video for today. I'm gonna make more specific videos after this, going through the trailer, seeing if any more information comes out and if I missed anything. And again, if you want to help me out, please leave some comments below about stuff I've missed, preferably with actually link to sources or telling me where in the trailer you can see a specific thing. But I'm so excited to make you guys more content the coming days, because I have so much stuff planned and we have so much to talk about. But hopefully this will give you a good overview of basically the reveal and the panel. But again, there's tons of more details I will go over later. So thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.